Welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us for another Dollars and Cents segment. Thanks so much for being here, Bruce.
Glad to be here.
Well, it's always good to see you. And with the year coming to an end, I cannot believe 2016 is almost over.
It's all over.
I cannot believe it. Time
4 more
flies.
days.
I know. with the end in sight, you thought it'd be a good idea to maybe look back and pick out the 4 hottest topics that you discussed in 2016.
2016 was great. We had lots of response. We had lots of people interested. So that tells me we got a lot of people watching the show.
Yes, that is very good. And thanks for watching.
So I went back and I pulled the topics that most people called on after the show, or people that wanted additional information on. And there were 4 of them that kind of stood out. So we're going to get right to it.
Okay, let's start in.
The first one we did was on January the 19th. We talked about confusion is conservation. So remember back in January, the Feds raised the Fed's fund rate. They were going to raise the rate 1/4 point. The market went crazy and started going all these different directions. Well, people got real nervous. And so their market investments were coming down. Interest rates are still low. People didn't know what to do. And what we discussed was market fluctuations are part of the investment cycle.
Right,
So,
yeah, that's what I would assume.
So just something that just happened, don't make a knee-jerk response to that. Sit back and just take a deep breath and don't make a drastic decision.
But isn't that something that you hear all the time on the news? You hear about stock market does this, people react immediately.
Right.
That's what it seems that people do.
And here's what the trend is. The more chaotic the market is, the slower people react to it because of fear.
Oh.
Do I get out and lose potential, or do I stay in? Then I've got fear of additional loss. So people have a lot of fear. So when it's chaotic, people just have a tendency to set back.
Gotcha.
And that's probably a very smart thing to do when it's chaotic. If you don't need the money right now, don't worry about it. Let it run its cycle.
Stay calm.
That's
yeah,
right.
keep going. Okay, so what did you talk about on March 22nd?
March 22nd, we talked about the largest liability in your retirement account. And everybody goes, what the heck is that?
Exactly.
It's the IRS.
Ah, of course the IRS.
So now you're retired and you've got this huge amount of money in a qualified retirement plan or an IRA. So now, what's your biggest liability? Paying taxes.
Right.
So now you've created this huge, what a lot of companies will call this huge interest rate growth, and this huge tax liability that has to be rectified. Either you pay it as you take it out, or if you die and you pass it on, your heirs just inherited a huge tax liability. And we talked about RMDs last week. Well, RMDs are taxes now. If you die, then your children inherit your IRA and they have to pay tax on it anyway.
Right. Wow.
So that was what we talked about. And the bigger the pot, the bigger the cut is for the government.
Gotcha.
So how do you rectify that? We talked about Roth IRAs. We've talked about HSAs, pulling money out, converting it to Roth, trying to create tax-free income. So we talked about that on
It's been
March.
a busy year already. We're already in March.
Absolutely.
Okay, and May 3rd.
Most popular saving tip of the year.
What?
Deal with an independent insurance company. They can handle your auto and home insurance, your life insurance, your long-term care. They can do financial planning for you. They could help direct your estate. They can do all of these things at a discount.
Yeah. Bruce, are you proud of me? That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm finally doing something right, Bruce.
That's perfect. And so now that you're doing that, you've got a guy that is watching your back while you're working. So if your price goes up, he's going to shop it for you. A good one will. If your price comes down, he's going to tell you everything's good. If you have trouble with claims, they're always there to help. Insurance agents have nothing to do with that claims process, but a good relationship with an independent insurance company, just like ours, put a little plug in there for us.
There you go. Yeah, of course.
It works perfect because our duties are to service our clients.
Absolutely. And last but not least, on September 20th.
I'm insurance poor and I need help. What should I do? Well, we talked about it. There are things that are pretty much necessary that you need to insure. Like your health, your car, your house, your life. Then you might consider, what about insuring my income? Well,
I didn't know you could do that.
You can through disability insurance, right?
Wow.
Now, what happens if I go into long-term care when I'm older? Should I buy long-term care insurance or not? And so when you look at all these premiums that we pay, everybody goes, goodness, I'm insurance poor. How can we afford to do this? Well, you have to prioritize what's important to you and your family, what your goals, objectives, and priorities are. Everybody needs to establish that. Now you put a little time into it, and then you consider what all of these things do. They ultimately protect your sustainable income. That's number one thing you can protect is your ability to have income for the rest of your life.
Bruce, you are so smart. You're like the Christmas gift that keeps on giving. You open up the gift and it's just knowledge.
Well, I guess
Bruce.
that's what I'm for.